Okay, if the board members could please make sure you have your microphones on, we're going to get started. Okay, good evening. It is 6:30 p.m. on Monday, March 9th, 2026. I'd like to call to order the Village of Brookfield Board meeting. Would everyone please join me in a pledge of allegiance to the flag?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Mike, we have a roll call, please.
Yes. Trustee Ketchmark.
Here.
Trustee Whitehead.
Here.
Trustee Hendricks.
Here.
Trustee Narimatsu. Not present. Trustee Gilhooley.
Here.
Trustee Kaluzny.
Here.
President Garvey.
Here. Thank you. Thank you for coming. We have one item under appointments and presentations. We do have a presentation tonight from the Brookfield Parks and Recreation Foundation. It's been a great asset to the village. Kyle, do you want to introduce or say anything before we get started? Your close work with them, or?
I think they've got it covered, but I'm excited to introduce Paul Koza and Lisa Stefano, who are on the board.
Thank you. You want to come on up? I was going to introduce him as Stevie's dad, but
Most important title.
welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening. Yeah, as said, I'm Paul Koza. I'm the treasurer of the foundation. Full name is Brookfield Parks Recreation Scholarship Foundation. We didn't hire a consultant to try and come up with a catchier name than that. And for a matter of saving time here tonight, so it doesn't go 3 hours for you tonight, I'll just refer to it as the foundation from here on out. Our mission is to raise funds to help individuals and families within Brookfield to be able to obtain or attend the various programs with reduced fees based on income needs. Families can receive up to 50% off on the amounts, but the village still gets the full price of their attendance at park programs. The foundation, oops, I guess I got it. The foundation was founded in the fall of 2021 by then Park and Recreation Committee members, now village trustees, Julie, who's not here, and Kyle. And I was recruited by the then Director of Parks and Recreation, now Assistant Village Manager, Stevie Ferrari. I'm still the current treasurer of the foundation.
She didn't tell you that. when you
Everybody else
recruit-
has had promotions, I guess. But I'm retired. I don't need promotions anymore in my life. But I have one of the best positions here to be able to volunteer within Brookfield and work with my daughter, Stevie, as we all try and serve the residents of Brookfield. Oops, I missed that one. Backwards. Our current board consists of Kyle, Julie, myself as treasurer, Tony Chavez, Beth Damon, and Lisa Stefano. We've had other participants in the foundation's development and our success for currently. Former board member Alicia Flores. The Brookfield Women's Club has helped out very well over the years. Mary Viscaso, Patty Chirma, Jamie Agnello, and Heather Kissel, amongst others. So we have had good support as we developed over the years that we've been in existence. Funds have been raised by holding annual fundraiser. This year's is this coming Friday over at Joe's Saloon. 2 years of pickleball tournament so far at the new courts at Ellard Park. This year's tournament is scheduled for June. And then the annual duck race. Our presence have been made at various village programs and festivals throughout the year, including the farmers market, almost every weekend that's being held. The majority of our funds have been raised, basically $5 at a time, the selling of a duck for the race. And it's increased every year since we've been having it, so we're looking forward to having a good success again this year. But we've also been lucky to have good support by business sponsorships. We started that just 2 years ago, or just last year?
Yeah, last year was a much bigger scale.
Yes.
but-
Sponsorships for our annual events, and we promote the sponsors on banners at our events and also every weekend at the farmers market. But we've also been lucky to receive over the years, a $5,000 donation, a $3,000 donation, and many $1,000 donations to help. So the foundation has established roots in Brookfield, and a number of people do support our goal here. From the inception, basically 4 years running, we've raised $79,226. Thus far in 2026, we've already raised about $10,000. So if it pans out, we'll continue on improving year after year. Administrative costs have stayed very low. Basically, the $2,773 that we spent over the 4+ years, most of that was right in the initial years. We spend very little on anything but the scholarships that we provide for the individuals. Our sponsorships will soon open after our annual event for 2026, and we hope to have good support for that. Programs eligible for funding include before and after care, which is a big part, at Brookfield schools, summer camps, and all the general course offerings provided by the Parks and Recreation Department. Through the end of December 2025, the foundation has funded $52,117 in scholarships. And then shortly after the year, in February, we did another $4,042. Through the end of 2025, that supported 72 families to be able to have 102 children attend programs here in Brookfield. Some of those in 2024 were also families that had fallen behind before the scholarship program started and hadn't been able to maintain the payments, and we helped support the finalization of their bills, which then made their families eligible again for the kids to attend. So that was worthwhile to do also. Oops, I went too far. The foundation board plans to increase our outreach to families in need, especially at the schools when they're registering for before or after care, and providing general information at farmers market also to let it be known more of what's available. You know, we couldn't do that very much in the first 2 years because we were trying to keep up with the scholarship request. Now we have a reserve of funds to be able to continue on. And we present it in this fashion. You know, you can help a child get, you know, but with $10 to get a 50% discount on, you know, just a day program. To $160 helps them get the before and after care for a month. So, again, we're going to go for that a little bit more. Again, Friday is our annual fundraiser, Joe Saloon. Rewind to the 90s, fun music, raffle baskets, split the pot, drinks, and light hors d'oeuvres will be there. So hopefully we'll see some of you at that event. And thank you for your time and support. And we will continue our efforts to help everybody we can to go to the programs here in Brookfield. Any questions?
Thank you for getting it organized. Thank you for the board, all the volunteers. It's been just seeing the numbers up there. It's a tremendous impact, the number of families and kids. It's a great idea. I just say it's so Brookfield, you know, people chipping in to help out and get people into these programs. I know this idea came up post-COVID, you know, just kind of helping people get back into the programs and how how a lot of these kids, it's one of the most exciting things they do. So to get them into the programs has been tremendous. And when I saw the little amount of overhead that you had, it's just a testament to how much you do with the volunteers and the work that you have, that you're turning the money around. And a lot of other not-for-profits could really learn from you and see, you know, how much money could go back into the programs. I know it's challenging, but you guys are really good at that. So, and your parties are a lot of fun. I can't wait to be there this year. Kyle, you want to add anything, or?
No, thank you, Paul. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you to all the board members. As you just said, President Garvey, countless hours from the two people up there and others. Jamie just snuck in there and make it all possible. Lisa took over the duck race as the lead person there from Mary, who had done an incredible job for a couple years. Lisa grew it even more. We have a master duck spreadsheet now. It's really, really awesome to see the amount of effort. This is one of the most fun projects I'm part of in my personal or professional life, and it's a testament to everybody that we work with. So thank you, and thank you to everybody on the board and everybody in the room and everybody in the community who has supported us over the years.
Just wanted to add one thing, which is it's so wonderful to be able to offer this to families. I know how important these programs are to families and to a lot of working families where both parents are working, and to have your children in summer camps and these other classes and the parents' night out and allowing, you know, them to get some time like that. I think it's really important. So really appreciate all the work that you do and the insight into understanding all of those things and throughout our community and our residents' needs overall for the kids and for the parents. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just going to keep loving on you guys, because I can't emphasize enough how grateful I am that Brookfield has this, that Stevie, you spearheaded setting this up, that Kyle and Julie worked on setting it up, all of you and all of the work that you do and the duck race and all of it. It's an incredible program.
I find there is a very good base of volunteers here in Brookfield. A lot of people care about what's happening here and how to make it better. So
Great.
thank you for letting me be involved.
Thank you. And I compliment you on your ability to say that nicely. Stevie recruited you.
Yes.
And I'm sure she told you it was going to be at least a 5-year term, if not more, right? Yeah. So.
I can tell you too, after working with Jamie and Lisa for years, volunteering through school stuff and Little League, that they're in it.
They are a force.
They're awesome. They are a force. That is so true. If you want it to happen, that's who to go to.
Well, thank you, and we're looking forward to Friday night.
Okay.
We'll see you,
Sounds good.
we'll see you there. Thank you so much. Okay, that was the only presentation we had tonight. I'm now going to open up the meeting to public comments. Usually I do the right side and the left side, but due to early voting, we just have one side. So does anyone have any public comment at this point? Okay, hearing no public comment, we're going to move on to, oh, I'm sorry. Could you please come up to the microphone and just give us your name, please?
Of course. Hi, I'm Rodriquez Garcia. I'm part of Team Chuy, the Office of Congressman Garcia. Just wanted to introduce myself. And again, I wasn't able to be part of the community project funding event that was hosted, I believe, 2 weeks ago. But I just want to let you know that we have opened community project funding. We actually extended the deadline to Thursday of this week. So if there's any projects that require funding, feel free to submit them. More information are in our website. I am the Constituent Services and Grants Manager, so if anybody needs any feedback or would like to have more information of the process itself, feel free to reach out. I have cards with me, so I'm happy to help with the assistance. But thank you so much.
Thank you. Do we have a card? Because I appreciate Congressman Garcia's office has been we got the notice about the applications and we submitted. I heard today the deadline was extended, but I think we
Yes.
wanted to show off and get it in. Do we get it in?
Yes, we appreciate early submissions, but again, if there's anything that can strengthen, a lot more letters of support, community support, having that added time can help, make the application stronger.
Yes.
But yeah, I'll provide my card.
Thank you so much, and
Of
thank you for
course.
coming out and give the
No, thank
congressman
you.
our best.
Of course, thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment? Okay, we're going to move on to reports of special committees. Trustee Narimatsu is not present at this time, so I would ask for a motion to appoint Trustee Ketchmark Finance Chair for purpose of this meeting.
So moved.
Second.
The motion was made by Trustee Whitehead, second by Trustee Hendricks. Roll call, please.
Trustee Ketchmark.
Aye.
Trustee Whitehead.
Aye.
Trustee Hendricks.
Aye.
Trustee Gilhooley.
Aye.
Trustee Kaluzny.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Trustee Ketchmark on the warrant.
A motion to approve corporate warrant dated the 9th of March, 2026, in the amount of $2,184,219.28.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, the motion was made by Trustee Ketchmark, second by Trustee Kaluzny. Any highlights, Trustee Ketchmark?
No.
Do any board members have any questions or comments related to the warrant? Okay, hearing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Ketchmark.
Aye.
Trustee Whitehead.
Aye.
Trustee Hendricks.
Aye.
Trustee Gilhooley.
Aye.
Trustee Kaluzny.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. We'll move on to Trustee Gilhooley, then Chamber of Commerce.
Yes, the Chamber of Commerce met today. Really just wanted to comment on two things. One, they're working on their annual membership drive. If there's any businesses in the audience, or if you know anyone that owns a small business and has been a member with them, they are no longer doing auto renewal for their memberships, so they will be reaching out to you if you have a small business. If they have not reached out to you, you can feel to reach out to them, but they do have a list that they're working through, and Libby was very helpful in providing them with registered business lists. So that is one thing to note that is different this year. And they do have a whole new set of levels of membership that people can do, their companies can do. So, and that's for Brookfield businesses and other local community businesses. The other thing is the Dancing with the Chamber event. This is our version of Dancing with the Stars for anyone who's not familiar. This is March 21st, so it's a week from this coming Saturday, and it's from 7 to 9 p.m. The dancers have been practicing for months. They've got nerves, but they're also getting ready and getting their costumes designed and finalized, and so there's a lot of buzz and excitement going around. So if you haven't bought your ticket to this event, I can assure you it is a very fun time. You get to yell out to the dancers and hold up posters and have a really great night. It's at RB High School, and you can get your tickets at brookfieldchamber.net, so you can buy those online. Also, tomorrow is the deadline if anybody wants to advertise in the program for the event. Same website, brookfieldchamber.net, and you can do that right through their website. So that is the biggest event coming up. And then ends my report.
Thank you, Trustee Gilhooley. Trustee Hendricks, Planning and Zoning Library.
Yeah, I'll start with the library. Their big initiative right now is called One Small Step by StoryCorps. I'm just going to read this right off their website. One Small Step, a groundbreaking initiative from StoryCorps, brings people together to talk across differences. The library is proud to be one of the several locations across the country offering this civic initiative. Starting in March, engage in a variety of activities designed to foster connection through listening and conversation. It's basically having conversations with people that have different views, and they've found it to make for happier communities. And I think it's wonderful that they've come to Brookfield. The library is very proud of that. For the Plan Commission, they got through, well, they started on Article 5 of the zoning code update a couple of weeks ago. I think they got about halfway through Article 9. They've still got a ways to go. They're working hard, looking real closely at it, and they're going to buckle down. They've volunteered to come to meetings every 2 weeks now to try and power through this to make sure that it gets a full review. So feel free to join the zoning code update review board meetings every 2 weeks. And that ends my report.
Thank you, Trustee Hendricks. Trustee Ketchmark, Administration, Economic Development.
The next Economic Development Commission meeting is on the 18th of March at 8:30 right here. I will report back after that, and I would defer to President Garvey on a summary of the State of the Village event that was at the zoo last week.
Thank you. Trustee Whitehead, Parks and Recreation.
Parks and Rec Commission has not met since our last meeting. A couple updates. Ellert Park Field 1, the dugouts have been delivered, and there's already a crew out there working to install today. We're hopeful they can be completed by the end of the week. I was walking my dog at lunch today, can confirm the dugouts are under construction. Also, I noticed there's a new fence in place around the main parking lot, which is something we've talked about as a board. And there's a new sign going in at the entrance to Ellert Park, which is another topic that has come up among the board and among the public. So exciting stuff happening at Ellert Park. See you out there. Registration for summer camp for residents is now open. Non-resident registration will open on March 23rd at 9 o'clock in the morning. So far, between Camp Kiwanis, Camp Great, Traveler Camp, Brains and Games Camp, we're already at about 270 campers weekly for this summer. So spots are going fast. If you, your family, or you know someone else in the community who's interested in registering, encourage them to sign up before we open it up to non-residents, because some of these camps have filled up in previous years. As you heard from my colleagues on the board, foundation fundraiser Friday at 7 o'clock at Joe's. See you there. Bring your favorite 90s gear. And the commission next meets on Tuesday, March 17th at 6:30 p.m. here at Village Hall.
Thank you, Trustee Whitehead. Trustee Kaluzny, Conservation and Beautification.
Yes, the Conservation Commission met at the end of February and discussed a bunch of their events they're planning for this year. One I'm going to tell you way out in the future is October 4th will be Meet the Creek. We had some good success planning that a little bit later in the year last year, a little less traffic in the parking lot for the farmer's market, and still warm out in October. So we're going to keep going in the creek in October. They're also planning some educational events, as well as a day where we could do a compost smash, an electronics recycling event. And so we're working on those two events and the details with village staff and with our vendors to plan those as well. And also looking at doing some finished compost this year. So working with staff on how to get people some finished compost to put in their gardens. So they're really busy, and their next meeting is March 24th at 6 p.m. here at Village Hall. The Beautification Commission has not met since our last meeting. They did not have quorum due to some travel from folks in the commission, so they're still looking to reschedule their next date. And I will let you know when that is. That ends my report.
Thank you, Trustee Kaluzny. The Solid Waste Agency and WCMC have not met since our last meeting. The WCMC and the Legislative Committee continues to lobby the governor and the legislators to advance our legislative initiatives to kind of try and claw back the money that we're entitled to from the local government distributed fund, as well as claw back and retain local control over zoning issues. So that's an ongoing issue for, we're working well just through the WCMC and the Mayor's Caucus to do that. So if things come up where there's actually bills where we could submit witness slips, you get those emails from the IML or anyone else, please submit the witness slips as a village official. They are helpful. I've firsthand experience that they are read, they are they do draw attention, so we have to do our part to try and help them out. In terms of Brookfield Zoo, and Trustee Ketchmark noted, I would like to thank the Brookfield Zoo for hosting the first State of the Village address last Thursday. The setting was perfect. It was we had the room in the Discovery Center, the layout, the lighting, the screen that we had, and just the accommodations and the food and everything was just tremendous welcome from the Brookfield Zoo. Dr. Mike Atkinson, the president and CEO of the zoo, was there for the initial part of the meeting. He did have to go somewhere else. Jennifer Bader was a great host and presented during the meeting. So I wanted to thank Brookfield Zoo for hosting us. I think everyone there really enjoyed the room and the setting. And at the same time, I want to thank Libby and staff and everyone involved. I mean, Libby did a tremendous job. I thought it went really well. It's really tough when you're involved in it and speaking and things, but I looked out at the size of the room and saw the number of people there, and the video that we had prepared was tremendous. I personally think we looked really, really good that day, and it was very exciting, very well organized. Have been receiving a lot of compliments over the past day since last week about how it went. It was a lot of work. There was a tremendous amount of work and planning that went into this, and I thought it went extremely well. And so we'll talk about what the plans are for the future. But again, on behalf of the board, thank you, Libby. Thank you to everybody involved. It really was impressive. So I know a couple trustees were able to make it. Anyone else have any feedback or anything you want to add? Or?
I agree. It was excellent, and thank you to the staff. And I spoke with some business owners and developers in the crowd, and they were impressed and excited about all the positive momentum. So thank you all for bringing that message to the public.
I agree. I took your advice, President Garvey, and had dinner at Irish Times that night, and spoke
Team
to
player.
Martin, the owner there. He had nothing but compliments about the event. He said he was able to connect with some people around town and some banks and different people, that he was really pleased that the village put that together.
I don't have anything extra, except I also agree that it was amazing. So thank you, everybody. Everyone did a great job speaking. No one repeated stuff too. It was all, everyone had really great points that they were sharing throughout. Great photos, great videos. I think it just really represented the town really well. So thank you.
I can let you know too, I should have mentioned that the chamber also indicated today during their meeting what a great event it was and how much they appreciated it.
And I say the video was, I think we all know that sometimes we get caught up in day-to-day and week-to-week stuff, but looking back on the successes that we have had, I know we have a lot of future successes coming, but looking back on what has been accomplished between the board and staff and everybody, it was really impressive to see that. And I think something we got to do more often, look back at what we have accomplished and the energy that came out of there so we can do even more things for future successes. So thank you all. Great event, and thank you again to the Brookfield Zoo for hosting us. Okay, with that ends the reports of special committees. At this point, I would entertain a motion to pass the omnibus agenda.
So moved.
Second.
The motion was made by Trustee Kaluzny, second by Trustee Gilhooley. Roll call, please.
Trustee Ketchmark.
Aye.
Trustee Whitehead.
Aye.
Trustee Hendricks.
Aye.
Trustee Gilhooley.
Aye.
Trustee Kaluzny.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay. Moving on to the items under regular business. At this time, I would entertain a motion to pass an ordinance to amend Division 5 of the Village Code for permitted encroachments in residentially zoned properties.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, the motion to pass this ordinance was made by Trustee Kaluzny, second by Trustee Hendricks.
President Garvey, may I move to amend the ordinance to amend?
Yes, what,
I would like to amend it to add the language that says the permitted low barrier wall encroachments must be constructed so that no low barrier wall exceeds 30 inches tall and is at least 18 inches from the curb. The idea is a safety issue. If the
well, here, let me do this. Is there a second on the motion to amend?
Yes, thank you.
Second.
Okay, so there was the original motion, and then Trustee Hendricks made a motion to amend. So there's a second on that. Now we could have discussion on the motion to amend. Thank you, Trustee Hendricks.
So I will explain my reasoning. if we allow walls in the parkway that are right behind the curb, especially in this situation where it's specifically on school properties, the safety issue is that if a child, for some reason, finds themselves on the wrong side of that wall, they are then in the street. If there is a minimum setback of 18 inches, that allows a refuge. Someone can get out of the street and get out of the way. The low barrier wall not exceed a maximum of 30 inches is a sightline issue, so that if you don't get someone running out from behind the wall and not seeing them and running out into the street. And I believe that that is consistent with our requirements for how high plants can be in the parkway in our ordinance. So I spoke with Superintendent Evans, and he said that both of these conditions would be met in the proposal that they currently have. I think that this still leaves room for staff to have discretion and room for design decisions to be made, but it sets minimums, and I'm not comfortable having this in the code without those minimums.
Okay, so there was the motion and a second, and does staff or the village attorney have a position on this or advice on this, or?
I don't have any position or advice on this. Just the applicable place in the ordinance would be under Section 7, Section 46119, entitled Construction Standards, places forth those standards. In the original ordinance, it was provided that the low barrier wall must be constructed in compliance with the applicable village standards. Based on the motion and the second to amend it, that's where the language would be noted in our village code.
Staff have any position?
Staff did not have a recommendation to apply construction standards to this amendment. The reason being, we do not see frequent requests from our schools. Their requests come typically based on need and less desire or beautification type of projects. The encroachment license is still a requirement as part of the encroachment request for schools. Within that license review, the village manager, in coordination with economic development and public works or the police department, if there is a safety concern, are incorporated as well. We believe those types of safety assessments can be done within the encroachment license, and applying the construction standards with the proposed recommendation from Trustee Hendricks. Staff cannot say right now if those are standards or typical to those types of encroachment items. So we would have to do some additional work to identify if there is consensus to add construction standards.
Okay, thank you for stating village staff's position. I'll open up to discussion from the board. This is on the motion to amend now, so how does the rest of the board feel?
I do feel like having those standards stated in the code would be helpful. If we're not here, if current staff isn't here anymore, the intention behind what we meant by that could get lost in interpretation, which I think has happened when we make amendments in code over time. And so I think as specific as we want to be there to make sure that it is meeting the safety standards makes sense to me.
I was just thinking the exact same thing, that, well, I think there'd be good intentions. I don't know if it would all be within the same thing that we're trying to address in terms of safety. So I understand that there, might need to be some more, maybe a little more research done to see if your proposed amendment with the 18 inches specifically, it sounds like the 30 inches is in line with other, the other sightline, right, guidelines that we have in place. So I don't know how much we need to look into that, but, or how much effort that would be to check on that 18 inches. But this seems like and maybe in the license application there can be a place for something like this, but I don't know if this sounds like we're leaving it to be just up to whoever's looking at that application at the time, rather than having a standard.
So it was a minimum of 18 inches. I can't see us wanting anything less than that for a wall to it, so I think that's reasonable.
Other questions or comments from the board on the, this is on the motion to amend the original ordinance. I know, I see, I appreciate Trustee Hendricks being up. I also understand staff's point that it could be handled through staff, but if the board wants to give direction here, these, as when we talked about the options for tonight, whether we dealt with District 95 as a one-off and just did the necessary things to make this particular thing happen, I think the board wanted to go the more general, give direction to create an ordinance that it would deal with all schools or all things going forward. I understand staff's concerns that maybe different schools or different setbacks would, or different projects would have different requirements. The fact that we haven't had a lot of these come up, if another one comes up or we feel the need to, you know, if the board decides to impose these conditions on this new ordinance and the next case comes up where it doesn't fit that, I guess that's something we would have to deal with if the board wants to go forward with the amendment, so. Anything else from the board? All right, so this would be voting on the original ordinance with the amendment as proposed by Trustee Hendricks. Is everyone clear on that? Sorry.
It sounds like staff is requesting time to review the proposed construction requirements and confirm that they are typical and consistent with what's permissible. Is that an option that the board is considering right now in terms of, or are we voting on the amendment as proposed by Trustee Hendricks?
I guess I'm open to if there's a need to continue this. I know District 95 is trying to move forward with this project. I read it as staff's concerned about their hands being tied in future projects or, you know, reviewing these things. I think Trustee Ketchmark's point, I mean, the way Trustee Hendricks worded it, there's the, you know, the minimum 18-inch setback and the 30 inches is the current. Would staff prefer to have more time on this?
I would prefer to identify the regular standards for this type of encroachment and adding the item. This is not something that I have collected in information, not anticipating construction standards, but I would like to confirm and verify the best and right standards.
Isn't there a time issue with District 95? So maybe if they can live within these parameters, they might say good. And if we don't have to come back and discuss with the board further, would that help them get their project moving? And then if they can't meet these standards, then we'll have to come back and they'll have to just.
And I may be reading, or I don't know if Stevie's concern was, you know, we're changing the ordinance for all projects going forward, so it wouldn't just be this project. So, I mean, I think Trustee Hendricks' conversations with Superintendent Evans that they wouldn't have a problem with these particular conditions being part of the ordinance, but am I correct that going forward it kind of creates problems, or?
I need to amend with these specific standards without staff having confirmed if those are standards, that does affect any project submittal moving forward. So we would just like to propose, if the consensus is construction standards, the best and right standards to apply.
So you want us to not vote on it today so that there's time to review that? Is that?
That would be staff's request, but it is up to the board.
And how, do we know how time-sensitive District 95 is on this project? I mean, is another 2 weeks going to?
Yes, I believe they would like to do project start next week.
Okay. So we either, I'm not sure which way the board wants to, I'm gonna leave it up to the board. We could vote on it as the amended ordinance, we could vote on the original ordinance. I mean, right now, on the floor, I guess I need to deal with the motion to amend the ordinance. If we pass that, then
Then we'll do another motion to pass the ordinance as amended and second that for the final action on this. So right now, you're just voting on.
oh, the motion to amend, I'm sorry, okay. So, and thank you for reminding me of that, Adams, because the motion to amend was made by voting yes on the motion to amend, you're not actually passing the ordinance with the amendment. You're voting to amend the original ordinance, and we'd have to vote on it a second time. Am I being clear on that?
Yes.
Okay. And staff's indicating they would like more time. I'm understanding that District 95 is under time, so.
Would it be effective to vote on the ordinance as amended tonight, and then if staff has a different recommendation, to come back and we can address that at that point?
That works.
So we'd be amending it twice, potentially.
Potentially.
Yeah.
But it would allow the school
project
to move forward with the project.
It sounds like there's time, if there aren't a lot of interest in doing this in general, that we have some time to do that.
So Stevie, is 2 weeks enough for that? Do you think?
If there is a motion to approve the proposed amendments, that will allow District 95 to move forward, and staff will do some additional research on these standards, construction standards, and bring back any changes
So we could,
or confirmation to the 18 and 30.
we could reconsider that at our next board meeting and
Yeah.
if there's any.
If we need to.
Right.
If they can comply with these, then we're done, but if they can't, then we'll have to come back to you with.
Well, it sounds like
Well, the
they can
school
comply
can
with these.
comply. It's
Does
putting
it
those
comply with
standards in
standards?
code.
Right.
We want to make sure that they are
Okay.
the appropriate ones.
Because this did come up quickly, District 95 approached staff got this on the agenda quickly, so it has moved somewhat quickly. And we understand these things happen, and trying to assist the school district with the project. So here, so there's this, I'm gonna call for a vote now on the motion to amend the ordinance to add the condition. And then again, you're not voting to approve the motion with the amendment, you're just voting to amend the original one, so. So if we have a roll call on the motion to amend.
Trustee Ketchmark.
Aye.
Trustee Whitehead.
Aye.
Trustee Hendricks.
Aye.
Trustee Gilhooley.
Aye.
Trustee Kaluzny.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, now the proposed ordinance is amended to reflect the changes suggested by Trustee Hendricks. Do I need a motion?
We need a motion to approve the ordinance as amended in a second.
Okay. Can I
So
have-
moved.
Okay, so the motion to approve the ordinance as amended was made by Trustee Hendricks. Is there a second?
Second.
Second was by Trustee Kaluzny. Any questions on the approval of the amended ordinance? Further discussion? Okay, hearing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Ketchmark.
Aye.
Trustee Whitehead.
Aye.
Trustee Hendricks.
Aye.
Trustee Gilhooley.
Aye.
Trustee Kaluzny.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to the next item is we have some bids to award related to the lead water service replacements coming up. So the first item, I would entertain a motion to pass a resolution to award a contract for the 2026 lead water service replacements project, Phase 1 to Five Star Energy Solutions in the amount of $6,116,875.
So moved.
Second.
The motion was made by Trustee Kaluzny, second by Trustee Gilhooley. Derek, can I call on you? Do we have our village engineer, Derek Trico? These next items 1 through 4 all relate to awarding bids for the 2026 lead water service, and maybe Derek can just provide a summary of what the bids came back, what he's looking forward, and what staff's recommending tonight. So Derek, thank you.
Sure, thank you. So we again divided our project for 2026 into 3 phases so we could get 3 different bids. Total of $13.3 million amongst the 3 different contracts, replacing 884 lead water services. Once that work is done, I think the board knows that we got bypass, the village was able to get bypass funding. We'll have about $11 million left. We'll have 624 identified lead services left in the village. Real quickly on the 3 bids, 2026 lead water services Phase 1. The low bid amount was $6.116 million. That's 16% lower than our engineer's estimate of cost. That was submitted by Five Star Energy Services. They're the firm that did the last 6 projects in town. They've done a great job, and we're recommending award a contract to them. Phase 2, their low bid was $4.026 million. Again, 16% lower than our engineer's estimate of cost. Again, by Five Star Energy Services, and we're recommending award of contract to them. And the third contract, Phase 3, the low bid was $3.161 million. That was actually submitted by Trine Construction. They snuck in and took one of the 9 projects. And it was 14.4% lower than our estimate. Our firm has done a lot of work with Trine. They've done some water services as part of water main replacement projects. They've not done a standalone lead service project replacement with us. We did call references for a few, and they gave satisfactory references. So we're recommending awarding to the low bidder, Trine Construction.
Thank you. Do the board members have any questions, Derek, at this point? Okay. And as indicated in the memo, this is the first step to, the board has to pass this resolution to award the bids, and then we apply for the loan through the Illinois IPA or EPA, and then as we discussed when we started this project and during the budget discussion, these loan repayments would be part of the structured water rate increases we talked about. The staff will need to come forward with a rate increase pursuant to previous discussions in April, but this step has to happen first to get the loan approved, so. But tonight, we're just voting on awarding the contract. So is there any questions, any further questions or discussion on the first item to award the bid to Phase 1 to 5-star in the amount of $6,116,875?
It's great that it came in under budget. Do we know how many lead service lines will remain after these 3 phases?
We do. We will have 624 lead services left.
That's excellent.
For 27, estimate of about $11 million for our project next year.
Thank you.
Other questions or comments on the board? All right, there's a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Trustee Ketchmark.
Aye.
Trustee Whitehead.
Aye.
Trustee Hendricks.
Aye.
Trustee Gilhooley.
Aye.
Trustee Kaluzny.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. The next item, I entertain a motion to pass a resolution to award a contract for the 2026 lead water service replacement project Phase 2 to 5-Star Energy Solutions, in the amount of $4,026,265.
So moved.
Second.
The motion was made by Trustee Hendricks, second by Trustee Gilhooley. Any questions or comments on this resolution? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Ketchmark.
Aye.
Trustee Whitehead.
Aye.
Trustee Hendricks.
Aye.
Trustee Gilhooley.
Aye.
Trustee Kaluzny.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. And the final item, I'd entertain, related to this, I'd entertain a motion to pass a resolution to award a contract for the 2026 lead water services replacement project Phase 3 to Trine Construction Corporation in the amount of $3,161,508.
So moved.
Second.
The motion was made by Trustee Kaluzny, second by Trustee Gilhooley. Any questions or comments on this? And again, I want to compliment staff and Hancock Engineering. I know getting these things out to bid early helps with getting the prices that we're getting. I know the engineers' estimates are, we always ask them to be conservative, but we are coming in even under the engineer's estimate, and I know that's part of that is because we're going out to bid early. These contractors are trying to lock up work for the summer, and we get the best rates because of that. So thank you to staff and Hancock for that. Any other questions or comments from the board on this resolution? Okay, hearing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Ketchmark.
Aye.
Trustee Whitehead.
Aye.
Trustee Hendricks.
Aye.
Trustee Gilhooley.
Aye.
Trustee Kaluzny.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Okay, the last item, I'd entertain a motion to pass an ordinance amending Appendix A fee schedule of the Brookfield Code to adjust the vehicle sticker fees.
So moved.
Second.
The motion was made by Trustee Whitehead, second by Trustee Kaluzny. This was discussed during our budget workshop after a presentation by staff about adjusting the fees, and there was some good discussion about the board and tweaking of that ordinance and the proposed vehicle sticker fees. Is there any additional questions or comments from the board?
No, just that I know that it's hard to adjust fees, but it hasn't done since 2019. And as we can see in the memo, there's increased operational costs that happen every year. So I think it's the right time to do it.
It will be nice to see the stickers not have to be scraped off the car every year. So
Yes.
That's a nice initiative. Thank you for that.
Any other questions or comments from the board? Okay, there's a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Trustee Ketchmark.
Aye.
Trustee Whitehead.
Aye.
Trustee Hendricks.
Aye.
Trustee Gilhooley.
Aye.
Trustee Kaluzny.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. That ends the items we have under regular business. Tim, anything by way of manager's report?
Just two things real quick. I want to echo your comments about the lead line replacement and commend Hancock Engineering for working proactively. What hasn't been said is, if we keep on this track, we do this year's and next year's, we're done. So after next year, we will have replaced in 3 years, right? All of the lead lines in Brookfield, which was a daunting task when we started this, considering that we estimate about half our lines were lead lines, and the fact that we're knocking those out and will be done. I know there are towns in our region that haven't even started yet, that they're still pulling their hair out. How are they going to pay for this? And I want to commend the board and the village for undertaking that. I think it's quite an accomplishment. Second of all, I want to welcome Matt Odom to our fair village here. He's in the audience, our new Parks Director. Sat through a very nice report today of the Parks Foundation. Matt comes to us with experience. He's been here for about 3 weeks now, right? So he's a grizzled veteran. He learned all the things he's got to work on at the State of the Village, so he's getting sleep for this summer. Comes to us with ample experience in Warrenville and the Fox Valley Park Districts. We're impressed with the knowledge and breadth of experience that he has. So we look forward to working with Matt for many years to come. So welcome, Matt.
Welcome, Matt, and I'm glad you're still here after 3 weeks. And his first day, I think his first day here, he had probably a long first day, and then he attended the Parks and Recreation Board meeting, which is always a good meeting, and then he went from that meeting to a Parks Foundation meeting. So he jumped right in that day without any hesitation, and as we've been talking, there's no slow time or downtime, as Stevie knows, in that department, so he's not going to get any break. He's going to go right into it, but welcome aboard, and we're looking forward to some great things happening, and he's already got some new ideas, so. But welcome on behalf of myself and the board. All right, that ends the items we have on the village board agenda, so at 7:19 PM, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn the village board meeting.
So moved.
Second.
The motion to adjourn was made by Trustee Gilhooley, second by Trustee Whitehead. Roll call, please.
Trustee Ketchmark.
Aye.
Trustee Whitehead.
Aye.
Trustee Hendricks.
Aye.
Trustee Gilhooley.
Aye.
Trustee Kaluzny.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. We're adjourned at 7:20 PM. We're going to go into the committee of the whole meeting in just a matter of minutes. If anybody needs to don't go too far.